welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a little pumpkin tutorial, just a little quick one. It shouldn't take too long to colour these, but the reason that I'm doing it is because I just finished these pumpkins in the Jasmine Beckett Griffith book. This is the buddy colour that I'm doing with Corey, and I finished these pumpkins, so I thought it'd be interesting to show you all the different colours and the techniques that I used. And the only thing that I've not pulled out is my gel pen. We can do that towards the end. Now, there is quite a few colours here. Put it down. There is quite a few colours here. So I've kept them in order-ish for how I want to use them. So I am using the Prismacolor, and I do only 150 set. So I'm not sure if these are available in the smaller sets. I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to start off with the lemon yellow, and then I've got, I think this one is canary yellow, but it's that tiny now, I can't really read it, so it's PC 916, and then we've got yellowed orange, PC 102, and then we've got orange, PC 918, and then we've got the white that I want to use for blending, or you can use a blender, it's entirely up to you. We've got permanent red, PC 122, crimson red, PC 924, and then the very darkest one, I'll only add a little bit of this, is the black cherry, PC 1078. So let's just get started. So I want my white separate because I'll be using that in between different layers. Let's make sure that you're nicely zoomed in and you can see everything that I'm doing. So we're going to start off with the lightest shade just to map out where we want our highlights, and we're using the lemon yellow PC 915. So I hope that you don't mind that there is a couple of shadows on my right hand side, but I'll be colouring from this side over anyway, so you should be able to see what I'm doing. So where I want the highlights, let's have them pointing down this way, so the light source is coming down here. So we want the highlights mostly on this side. You could leave some of the white of the paper, but I'm not doing that today. Just a light layer to begin with, just to map out where you want it. And as we get into the centre, I'm not going to put any here. Just like that. Then we're going to move on to the yellowed orange PC 1002 and put that everywhere apart from where you've popped the highlights. So just a thin layer all over. Try and get it as even as you can. You want to be doing the inside of the eyes there. Oh, and if I didn't mention, this page is from Hannah Carlson's Seasons colouring book. So make sure you're leaving the yellow areas quite light. And not forget these. These will be a lot darker though, with them being in shadow. And then we move on to what I think is canary yellow. I could be mistaken, but it's PC 916. And then another thin layer over the top. I'm going to be using the white to blend out, so I want to make sure that there's enough pigment down for me to actually blend out. If there's not enough, it won't work. I need to get a pencil extender. I have got some, I just need to find them in my drawer and pop this in one of them. So now we've got them layers down, let's move on to the orange, which is PC 918. Then you start at the top and pulling the colour down, and the way that I do it, I follow the lines. So you've got lines here, join them up, just making sure that you're feathering so there's not a really harsh line. I'm not worried too much for getting the eyes or the eyebrows or anything in the pumpkin, because they're going to be black. Straight down. And feather the edges out. It doesn't need to be perfect at this point. Don't forget them edges. And on the very insides, I want to go straight over the top. I'll end up using a lot of the black cherry on these areas, just to really darken them up, as well as some black, I think. So the same as the top, exactly like the same. You're just working in the opposite direction. So put your lines where the lines already are. Blend your edges and feather up. Just like that. Even though with this technique there are a lot of different pencils used, I think this is probably the easiest for me personally. So I'm using just a white now, just to blend out. And don't worry, we've not finished yet, we need to go over the top with a few more colours. But I just want to get this looking a little bit smoother. So if I bring you in even closer, you should be able to see as I'm blending them out. But because the Prismacolor is so soft, it is really creamy and easy to move around. It does dull down the colour ever so slightly, but we're going to go back over the top with some darker shades anyway. But I really like this look. I love the way that it turns out once it's finished. It's definitely more of a cartoony. I've not got my little brush. More of a cartoony pumpkin. I'm using really hard pressure here. I'm surprised it's not snapped. So on to the darker shades. We've got Permanent Red PC 122, and then at the very top, I think I need to buy a new chair. At the very tops and in the centre of each line, I'm just going to pop a little bit of this. So imagine you're doing hair strokes at the top, you're just pulling that colour down. Just like that. So you're just sort of defining them lines with this colour. Then I want to go back over the top with a little bit of the canary yellow again. Pull downwards and up, just to blend out more and just to get it a little bit brighter. Keeping sure that you keep hold of them highlights still. And then the yellowed orange PC 1002. And then the very last colour that I'm going to use on him is the Black Cherry PC 1078, and I want this right at the top. Don't want a whole lot of this, and I'm going to use this same shade as well for the, what do they call them? I can't think of the name. That bit, you use the green. I'm going to use this colour as well. Don't want a whole lot of this, just a little bit. Just enough that you can see that it's there anyway. And then one last time with the orange, which is PC 918. Just want to pull some of this up and down. Now you can go over the top again here with your white, but I don't feel like I need to. So that is that little guy done. It is really easy when you know how. It really is. So I did dust colour these guys, and I've probably edited it in somewhere where you can just about see, but I forgot the black pencil. So we need to fill in the eyebrows and the nose and the mouth. But I've picked some colours out, and I think they're called stems. Are they stems? I was trying to think of the name, but I'm just going in with the black. It's just black. It is the PC935. And if this is not dark enough, I could always go over the top with a fine liner. But let's see how dark we can get this. See if we can just stick with pencils. I might just have to keep sharpening it. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. And with this black, pull the colour down to make it a shadow in them areas. So I'll do all three now so I don't forget. So I want to come this way, like that. Get that filled in as much as possible. And then for his mouth, I always say it, but if I wasn't filming I'd have the book upside down and sideways to make this a little bit easier on myself. And this little guy. Let's do these ones as well so I don't forget. And the notes was that way. Oh, it was very difficult doing this one. Right, so that's the black done. I'm really pleased with that. So for the stems, we're calling them stems. The canary yellow again, I've kept that out, the PC916. And I want to use this as my highlight colour. Just pop a little bit of that on each of the right hand sides. That's where my light source is. And then move on to marine green, which is PC988. Go over all of the white areas with this, but drag it up as well, just so there's not a line there. And then I said I was going to use that black cherry again, so we'll go ahead and use that, which is PC1078. To darken it up a little bit. I have got a darker colour that I want to use as well. And then we'll go ahead and use the white to blend, which is PC938. And the very last colour we're going to use is sepia, which is PC948, just to deepen it up a little bit more. Mostly right at the root. there we go. That is how I like to colour pumpkins. I sometimes change the colours up from changing the oranges and the reds, and sometimes add a little bit of brown or green depending what sort of pumpkin that I want. It all depends, but that's the one that I've shared today. I do hope that you enjoy it. Please do give me a thumbs up and comment down below, are you going to try this, or are you in the spooky season? I'm definitely getting there now. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and take care. Bye.